Hello, it's Thursday, and today we're going to be continuing our Pokemon Black run, where every time my Pokemon level up, they evolve into something random, and we get to crochet them. Now, a lot of you may know we are working on filling out an entire crochet dex, and we have finished Gen 1 and made a pretty good start on Gens 2, 3, and 4, but this series today is focusing on filling out Gen 5. So it looks like where we left off last time, we were on our way to Striaton Town. I don't know how many trainers there are left between where we currently are and where we're going. So let's have a look at the Pokemon. Let's just have a look at our Pokemon and we'll see what's up. Okay, so currently we have Opacity, who is a level 10 Seismitoad. And we have a little level 4 Garbodor. Now I believe we are trying to hold off on using Garbodor in battle at all until we start encountering some more trainers. But my goal for today is going to be to try and get through the gym. So we'll just see if we can make it that far. Hello, sir. Nope. Wrong buttons. Nope. Back, forward, menu. All right. Hello. When your Pokemon don't have enough energy to fight, just walk on the road. Pokemon only appear in the tall grass. Okay, cool. So yeah, we are making our way through this forest. Ooh, okay. It's a trainer. We've got our first battle really early this time. And that's good. We have Opacity out the front to like absorb like the little bits of XP and hopefully not level too early. Little Purloin. Has Purloin always been spotty like that? We're going to, tackle. Or we can wrap or bide or roll out. I don't remember what half these moves do, but I do know we have a level advantage and that's okay. It's going to be like that for a little bit. Opacity is going to be soaking up as much XP as I can give her. So in order to like protect Audacity from only going up like one level at a time, we want to get 2 to 3 levels from her. Alright, there we go. Last Marley. Okay, we robbed the little teenager in the forest. To be fair, they started it. Alright. Okay, we have to go into the grass here. There's someone at the top there too. Okay. So yeah, hopefully for a nice like peaceful, easy start to today. Oh, pretty! This is really fun because it's been a really long time since I played Gen 5, and so like I'm getting these reminders as to what Pokemon are even in Gen 5, because I believe Gen 5 was meant as like a hard reset for the Pokemon franchise, and so like I know these games literally in their original form only had Gen 5 Pokemon in them, whereas like most games these days you're used to like getting a cross section, and these ones here were dedicated to just Gen 5. I mean, we've randomized it today, but like just Gen 5. And I need to stop trying to tackle the ghost type. It's fine, guys. We're warming up. Will a rock move work? Yes. Okay, good. You poisoned my frog. Oh no, my frog poisoned the jellyfish. Yee. I hope I wasn't in the middle of a story because it's gone now. So yeah, anyway, just getting that to like all of these new Pokemon. Well, they're not new, but they're a little trip down memory lane. Whereas like once we hit Gen like 6, 7, 8, I don't know if I'd recognize them as even Pokemon. So that's gonna be when things start getting real interesting. Because yeah, I kind of went from, I think it was X and Y, it might have been Alpha. Okay, I think I went from Alpha through to Scarlet and Violet, and so it's really just like a block of melted cheese to me. That's not a saying. It is now. Alright, okay, are you going to attack me? You look like you're going to attack me. Alright, let's do this. Ooh! This always looks like a little like Pac-Man ghost flew through Grandma's curtains, and I love that. Are you also ghosty? Or can I hit you? No, I can hit you. Okay, good. I'm just like batting the volleyball. Just a little lollipop. We made one of you last week. Where are ya? Here you are. We did make a little lollipop last episode. So you can go back over there with the gang. Oh, Snivy, you fainting menace. Toad's feeling a little bit mean at the moment. It's just beating up all these tiny little babies in this first starting zone. But it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I only have one that I can really send out. There we go. Okay, alright, well after all of that we got our first level already. That's all right. So opacity is going to be evolving. I don't know what into, but this is going to set the tone for today. So I'm about to find out what kind of day I'm about to have. You get it, opacity. Oh, stop wiggling those things at me. It's a little Oshawott. Oh, oh. Wait. We already, ooh. We might have a closed loop already. No, we don't. Wait, we do. Hold for a second. Okay, so I think we are okay here, as nervous as I am about this, because I think that the Pokemon we picked originally was swapped for Tepig, and that's who became Lillipup. And then we've been Snivy. I'm so sorry for pronouncing Snivy wrong last time. It was not intentional. I always thought it was Snivy. Snivy makes more sense. Then we had Snivy, who evolved into Seismitoad, and it just turns out we're doing a tour of the starters really early, and so now we have Oshawott. Let's have a look at our little guy. So the fun thing about Oshawott is we actually kind of technically already know who they should evolve into as well. I just don't remember. So if you're feeling like you cannot possibly wait until this Pokemon evolves again, if you go back to episode 1, and you'll see the 3 Pokemon they were offering us. One was Seismitoad, one was Lillipup, and whoever that third one is, that should be who Oshawott evolves into, if everything that we've learned so far holds true. But it's not a closed loop, we are okay. And Oshawott's ability is Torrent. It powers up water-type moves in a pinch. We don't have any water-type moves. But yeah, let's stop here and make Oshawott. Okay, so we are starting with a starter. And it's a cute little otter friend, though I never really realized that he had that little ruffle around his neck. It's like, has he always had those little shoulder pads? Anyway, I feel like he's going to be a really simple starting Pokemon for us today, with kind of just like a head and body piece and then a bunch of decorations attached. Now, I thought I was going to be using this blue, which is known as Cloud. However, the more I looked at the reference images, I realized he's actually teal with like dark blue accents. And that was weird. That was a weird moment for me. But there is our color palette. All right, so I'm starting my white at the top of the head, and I'm going to build up this little body nugget as kind of like a peanut. That's the top section is white and the bottom section is teal, and just worry about those shoulder pads later. As I reached like the midpoint of the peanut where I would be changing to the teal, I realized that I wanted to use safety eyes for Oshawott today. Now I popped them in and they looked approximately correct, but then I realized that I couldn't be sure if they were completely correct until I had a nose to make sure that the spacing was right. So I popped the head to one side and we whipped up a nose really quickly. And with the nose present, I could confirm that yes, I was indeed happy with the eye positioning. And from there, I could snap the backs on. But did we get any clicking sounds? It'll do. And we're going to give him something to think about too. So with all that managed, I could change to my teal and finish working up the peanut of the body. Oh, that's a little too much. There we go. Alrighty, so there's our Oshawott mostly done already. Now he just needs a bunch of bits. I decided to tackle those shoulder pads next, and it did take me a couple attempts to get these right. I was just working them as kind of like bubbly stitches on top of a chain, and the first time I did it, I made it just slightly too short, so I actually had to frog the whole thing and go back and try again. But the second time, with a little bit of stretching, I got it to wrap the whole way around. What good is a scarf that doesn't go the whole way around your neck, am I right? So with that pinned in place, I decided to tackle the arms next, and they were just going to be 2 little white Tic Tacs that could just be pinned anywhere on the body to provide vague and intentional gestures. And after that, I was feeling really brave, so I decided to tackle the shell, and I'm actually really, really pleased with how the texture of the shell turned out. Basically, I worked treble crochet across the top part of the magic ring, and then single crochet across the bottom with like kind of a little cinching point in the middle to form the texture of a shell and not just the shape. And yeah, like I think it turned out really cool. Next, I pulled out the dark blue and whipped up a couple of tiny little flat pyramids for the ears. Looking cute so far. Then I used the same color to whip up a tail and some little feet as well, and they were just some pretty basic blobs as far as shapes go. Alright, so the tail went at the back, and the feet went underneath, and we had all of the raw materials needed to make our Oshawott. Now, in my experience, we're always asking Oshawott, and never Oshawai. philosophy aside, I removed as many pieces as I needed to and then just started sewing pieces on. Basically just assembled in layers, so things like the shell and the ears had to go closest to the body, and then things like the arms and the feet went on top. Good little squish for luck. Oh no, he's armed! Okay, so with all of those pieces attached, the last thing I had to do was to add a little face. So I started by doing a little mouth, which did end up just being slightly too low, so I did unpick it and try again. Seems to be the theme for today's little otter. So there we go, mouth accomplished, and then there was just 3 little freckles for each side. There we go, freckles accomplished. And there is our finished little Oshawott. We are back! And we are just going to continue our way through the forest. You got anything helpful to say? No. Does that mean we're coming to the end of Route 2 or at the start? We're at the start of Route 2. Ooh, what's down here? Ooh, secrets! A potion. I love anything that I don't have to pay for. And a Pokeball. Excellent. A perfect little starter kit. Suspiciously good little starter kit. That should have been a trap of some kind, in my opinion. Oh, I've left them out. I'm so sorry. Thursday. Come on, Thursday. Oh, it's Bianca. Hello, Bianca. Hey, listen, let's have a Pokemon battle. Please, the Pokemon I caught have become a little stronger. Ready or not, here I come. Bianca, no! That's not nice. Okay, so Bianca has 2. Bianca has a Lillipup. Alright, no, Bianca caught a Lillipup. That's fine. I kind of wanna... I'm gonna swap Audacity in. And we might go for a level. Rawr. And then we'll swap Opacity back in. Because even though there's only 2 levels in it, that's a lot at this size. Don't you leer at me. You're a tough little pup, aren't you? Okay, Audacity's already leveled up once, so we've got another evolution right away. We're going to switch Pokemon. I'm going to send in Opacity again. Hello, Snivy. Let's try some poison gas. Oh, right, I forgot that we were holding Black Sludge. Right, so I'm trying to leave Audacity in here now so that she can potentially go up a whole other level. That said, I am making the decision on the fly here that if 2 members of my team evolve in the same battle, I get to pick which one of them actually gets to evolve. I'm making that call now because I'm not going to do back-to-backs, I don't think, not this early anyway. And that will help control things a little bit. Okay, I'm liking the Black Sludge. I'm liking the poison. Garbodor, you're doing just great, sweetie. Oh, Bianca. I worked really hard for that. I think Toxic Spikes only do anything if the Pokemon tries to leave. So yeah, okay, that was a waste of a move. I'm a great big ball of garbage. What do you think Vine Whip's gonna do to me, you snooty little lizard? Okay, we're actually in like the danger zone. Ah, okay, I'm gonna have to use a potion next turn because Snivy is faster than me and meaner than me. It always hurts to use an item this close to a Pokemon Center though. There we go. Excellent. Okay, good job, Audacity. You nailed it. 73 should take you up another level, right? No! Oh well. Okay, look, I know you're probably not super excited about seeing another evolution this close, but these will slow down. By the end of the episode, we will have a coping mechanism in place. No, maybe I should stop this one. But Garbodor wants to. She's so excited about it. Okay, we're gonna let her evolve. I am. I should have thought this through. Alright, sweetie, come on. And from the pile of trash emerges Annie! Okay, alright, okay. Throw. I can work with throw. We've got a very poisonous Ernie. Bianca's probably going to talk to us a little bit. You're a tough cookie, Thursday. I'm going to work hard on training my Pokemon so we won't lose anymore. Good for you. Okay, bye-bye. If Sharon walks out right now, I'm going to lose it. Okay, good. And by lose it, I mean the battle. Pokemon, let's have a little look at our Audacity. In 2 evolutions, I went from having an all-girl team to an all-boy team. Okay, so Audacity has the ability Guts, which boosts attack if there is a status problem. Okay, so we're going to pause here and we're going to make Throw. Okay, so we've got a Peoplemon, and we knew that this was coming eventually. And you know what, as far as Peoplemon go, Sock and Throw, who I do consider it to be a pairing, like Bert and Ernie, they're not so bad. Like, he has 3 fingers, no toes, and no hair to speak of, and those are kind of the worst parts of trying to do a Peoplemon. Plus, he's kind of a low, nuggety, sturdy kind of shape, which means he's going to be relatively stable as well. The fact that he's fully dressed, I don't know if that makes it better or worse. So I do consider him to be more red usually, but I am going to lean on my Outback, which is kind of like an orangey red. It just seems to be more appropriate when it comes to the red-toned Pokemon. So I'm going to start by actually just making the head. I am going to make this as a separate piece, and it's going to be kind of egg-shaped, and I'm going to see if I can like work it down into that like chest and the opening of the robe and build it all into one piece. And yeah, I'm going to have to do it that way. Anyway, okay, we're going to do them as separate sewn-on details. Stuff his little egg head. There we go. Alrighty, so now we can think. Oh, I've made that perfectly to scale. That's kind of fun. So next up I'm going to start at the top of the body, and I'm going to make this all in white and kind of like try to flare it out and then like suck it back in to create the illusion of the edge of the robe. Alright, so it doesn't necessarily look like it here, but I am using front post stitching to add that belt around the middle. So it's something that could absolutely have been done afterwards, but sometimes when I'm designing things happen a little bit out of order, and I wanted to do it then just to check that I had like the ratio of like nugget above it and nugget below it correct. It was just more helpful to do it at that point in the design process. But then, as you can see here, I've grabbed my white again, which was never trimmed off, and we're just creating that little like flare at the bottom of the robe. And close off the bottom. Alright, there we go. And that will go approximately there. Alright, so with those 2 pieces done, I think I'm going to do the arms next. So the arms, thankfully, as I mentioned, only have 3 fingers on them. And I'm going to lean on that little trick I do with the double treble crochets in amongst the single crochets, to like fold over the stitches to make those fingers. It just works so nicely at this scale. So, you know, I don't feel the need to invent new tricks to solve that particular problem. And then, of course, I'm just going to use white to work up the rest of the arm and just generally worry about all of those like zigzaggy lines later. There we go. That's 1 and 2. Go, pin those on. Oh no, stop! He's training raptors. Pop that over there. Okay, so next up I'm going to do the feet or the legs, and for these I'm just going to do like a little orange like patch on one side to like simulate where the toes should be, but then the rest of them is just kind of a little white trunk. And I am going to put little weights in the feet as well, just to add a little bit of stability. He's not super tall, but he is only a biped, and there is no like tail to help him balance. So they're going to have to do a lot of the work on their own. And of course he needs little knee pads as well. That goes there. And that goes there. Excellent. Alright, take those off again. So with those all accomplished, the next thing I have to do is work out how to do that opening of the robe. And so I've just marked where the head needs to be with pins. And then I'm just making this little like bridging chest piece out of orange. And I'm going to use black stitches to like top stitch around where the opening of that robe should be, which will actually match the texture of the sash of the robe too, which was also done technically using top stitching. So with that accomplished, I could then just slot that little chest piece back in. And then when the headpiece goes over the top, it's all going to look like it's layered up correctly. Okay, so time to add some full body zigzags. And I'm just doing my best to use like pins to map out their locations and then just like roughly stitch them where they go. Okay, so for the head, we had to make an eyebrow, because it's quite an intense, like, eyebrow type of piece, and a couple of little eyes. I folded the nose up out of the way in order to help me position the eyes initially, but then I could just fold it straight back down. It's kind of made it a little bit easier than unpinning it completely. Now, the eyes are kind of my one main regret on this particular one. I don't think I really nailed those, but, you know what, they're close enough. So we're just going to sew that head together and see what else we're missing. And of course, taking some time to add the little black crisscrossy lines to the head as well, including that mouth. There we go, and then the head goes right there. So from there I just stopped and kind of sewed everything that we had together, just so that I could more easily identify what was missing. So that means that like the knee pads had to go onto the legs had to go onto the body, and the arms had to go onto the shoulders as well. And I did stop and make sure that he balanced. Well, that's also kind of an important thing. Alright, so looking at him, what's missing is the little tie at the front of the robe, but I actually think that's it. So I just whipped up a couple of little, like, I think they're just chains with some single crochet worked into them. There's not a lot of craziness there, and sewed them on. And there is our finished throw. We have officially survived the first Peoplemon of this generation. And except for the eyes, you know what? He looks pretty good. Alrighty, so we are back, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to actually get some story. So we made our way through the forest. We have got our first 2 evolutions, even though we've only been filming for like half an hour, which is not a strong sign, but we're about to enter a city, and okay, nothing should attack us in the city, so we should get a little bit of story progression now. Do I have my running shoes on? Oh, I have to hold down B to run. Okay, sorry guys, I've just worked out how to run. Can we go into... Oh, that's fancy. Let's talk to some people. Hey, I got a great ball. What's in your bin? I don't know why, but it always feels really important to check all the bins. You know what it is? I bet it's from Pokemon Red with Lieutenant Surge's buttons. It's just trained us that there's stuff in the bins. That or the SS Anne. I'm pretty sure the SS Anne in the originals was training me to check the bins. I don't know where I got that from. Hello! Personality assessment and horoscope. So, what's today's star sign? February. If you were born in February, your sign is Simipour. Which is weird that they picked February for that because we are very clearly in March. Oh! I guess the season couldn't change until I entered a building. Okay, we've just transitioned to autumn. After a battle, to my surprise, my Pokemon evolved and changed its appearance. Trust me, I can relate. Some evolve and some don't. Pokemon really... Mine all evolve. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello? We can't go upstairs now because Fennel said she was testing something and she had a scary look on her face. Okay, we found Fennel. I remember that we were supposed to find Fennel. I don't know what we're supposed to do for Fennel, but I'm assuming Fennel knows. Okay, I'm seeing some people. You look kind of important. Hey. I too studied at the trainer's school when I was a beginner. Okay, is this the school? This looks like a Poke Center. Cool, it is a Poke Center. Hello, sir. Have you been catching Pokemon? When you have more Pokemon, you're less likely to lose. That's just not true. We're gonna heal up, even though we did use a potion recently. I still have Oshawott in the lead. It's a little sad that they're not following along behind so you guys can't see who I have in the lead of the party. But Oshawott's still in charge here. Who are you? I'm looking for freebies. I'm really hoping for a freebie. What do you have? Okay, cool. Heal ball, some mail. Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. So, the Poke Center? Check. Alright, we have something next door and something next door. What's this say? Trainer school. Okay, so the trainer school is to the left. I'm guessing it's the gym to the right. So I'm just going to avoid anything that looks like a plot point for now. I said walking straight up to the guy who looks very gym leadery. Okay, apparently the gym leader is quite tough. At the site of an old factory at a place we call the Dream Yard, there's an unusual Pokemon that can make dreams appear. Ooh. Hello. Fire type Pokemon are weak against water type moves. I know more stuff. You know, I would say yeah, duh, but honestly with my track record in paying attention, that's probably not a bad thing for the game to remind me of. Oh, hello. We've got secrets hidden. How do I get in there? Can I sneak in like up here? No. It must be on the other side. I'm going to find this now. Like derail the whole video. Our new goal is to find a way into that path. There we go. Now it's just an X speed. I can tell you now I am never using that. And you'd be the gym, right? Hello. Are you looking for the gym leader? He is not here. He could be in the trainer's school. If you want to challenge him, please go find him. The trainer's school is not far from the gym. Yeah, it's in the only other building in town. Hello, Blondie. Some trainers can train themselves and their Pokemon in the Dream Yard. You might think about going there. Could be you'll find something. Ooh, okay. So we've got the Dream Yard, we've got the trainer school, and we have the Pokemon gym. And I'm guessing that there's an order we have to do these things in. I'm thinking I'm going to poke my nose into the trainer school, given that like we're in town. Oh, hello. Pokemon can be found in dark places too. That's when a Dusk Ball can do the trick. Here's one for you. Oh, they gave me a Dusk Ball. I'm supposed to remember what all these ball types do, aren't I? Thankfully it won't be relevant because this is not really a collect-em-all run. That's how I actually play when I'm playing, if I'm honest. Collecting everything. Okay, into the trainer school. I think the trainer school feels like the logical place to start here. Oh, they look like battles, don't they? Very much so, yes. Are you going to fight me, sir? Or are you just going to tell me what's up? The question will arise here, because like there's no way I'm going to be able to make it through I'm guessing at least one of these guys will attack me, and there will be another level here. I don't remember if the dream yard is like a battle area, but I'm gonna allow for another level there, and then if we head into the gym, there'll be another level there. So like we should still have plenty of space here to get through the gym leader, arguably. Though there's also a school of thought here where I actually try and get both of them to level up in a single battle so that I can only evolve, so like that both of them are leveling, but I only have to make one thing. And I think that has some potential here as well. Yeah, okay, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. Hello? Some moves can only be taught with TMs. Cool, no battle there. That's Sharon. Sharon's going to attack me. Hello? Ability is you. There's a technique that lets you cancel evolution. It's a sign. You? Hello? Sure, hit me with a quiz about status conditions. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Fantastical answer. Wow, good job reading. Fantastic answer. Since you know so much about status conditions, I'll give you this. Woo. I love a free heal. Free heal can cure confusion, or at least it could in the last game we were playing. Phenomenal. Hello, Sharon. You look like you're going to attack me. Boo. By the way, will you have a battle with me? I already have the plan in place for what I want to do here, and that plan is get Oshawott a level and then try and see if we can sneak Audacity through for a little level as well. Hey, we're both battling Oshawotts. It's the battle of the otters. It's a bottle. Oh, I have the level advantage against you, but you have actual water moves. So let's just see how we go. Wrap you up in a little hug. They're otters hugging and hitting one another. That's less cute. Oh yes, he's so smug. He's so smug. He's so like, yes, I see. It's like, Meanwhile, I'm just like, tackle, 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 tackle. The items. They really want me to be using items, and I don't want to. I want to hit things. Okay. So that's that one done. And I know he has one more Pokemon. Oh, that wasn't enough to get a level. Oh, that wasn't enough to get a level. I'm going to switch, but I'm going to try and like split the XP between the two of them, and I'm hoping that'll be enough so that neither of them level, or that both of them level. Oh, never mind. Audacity's going to level if you breathe on him weird. And he's just being a middle-aged man farting up the joint. Audacity's no longer poison type. I have to take that black sludge away. But not right now. I think Audacity can take another hit. Yeah. Stop spritzing me. Yeah, the black sludge choice there was appropriate. I bet some of you were screaming at your screens to remind me to do that. And I won't lie, I had the idle thought of like, oh, I wonder if that still works, and then I just chose not to look into it at all. Still, black sludge is a useful item to have on hand if we do end up with a poison type. Oh, Shavot's so small, he doesn't fit above the menu. He's just all the way down there. Okay, Oshawott, pat the cat. Good job. One more. Pat, pat, pat. Good. Okay, well I miscalculated that, didn't I? Because Opacity didn't end up leveling, but is very close to leveling, and now Audacity has leveled. And that's still okay. That's still alright, because we still... Like I said, I've budgeted one level for the trainer school, one for the dream yard, and one for the gym. So this is only our third for the day. We still have room there. Here we go. What are you going to be next? Oh! Okay. I'm sensing a red theme. Well, I mean, Oshawott's blue, but like, that's a Heatmore, and it's like an anteater with some stripy pajamas and some varicose veins. He's a tube! So, learning to use items well is definitely important, and... Oh, I got some berries. Oran berries? If you give a Pokemon this kind of berry to hold, it will eat it to heal up when its HP goes down in battle. But if you give Pokemon man-made items like potions to hold, they can't use them. That makes sense. They've got childproof locks on them. Alright, let's have a look at Pokemon number 3. So my strategy significantly backfired on me then. I'm not going to backfired, and we got a fire type. Yeah. Our ability is Gluttony, encourages the early use of a held berry. Hey, that's kind of thematically appropriate here, because we've got Recycle, which allows us to like reuse our item, I'm pretty sure, and then Gluttony encourages the early use of a held berry, and we just got given some berries, so it's just like, they're paying attention. Alrighty, we're going to stop for a second, and we're going to make our stripy, pajamaed armadillo anteater. Anteater friend. Okay, I feel like this game is like slowly turning up the difficulty on me now. So Heatmore, the anteater, is kind of like, is it called a Rupert's teardrop? It kind of reminds me of one of those, you know, those things that shatter but are otherwise like extremely strong. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, he's this weird like drooped over teardrop shape with a lot of curve to him. He's got these big chunky arms on little tiny noodles and really big solid legs and a bit of a steam pipe for a tail. There's also a lot of like stripes and individual details and some varicose veins in the mix. And I don't know, I thought about turning him red, but I do think the orange is going to be a closer match. So that does mean that I'm using the same color here as I'm using for throw. So I'm going to start just by trying to make that main swoop of a piece, starting at the tip of the nose with a magic ring of 4, which is very, very small, and then just trying to like curve it around into that big like blob of a body. Drama. I've decided that I'm going to try and do like all of those little details and stuff as like things that we sew on, just to try and simplify the overall shaping here. But yeah, no, this guy needed some shape to him. He needed nozzle and barrel. So there we go. And I was feeling a little unmotivated, so with that done, I decided to make a couple of little eyes next, just so that I could be observed the whole time in that very judgmental little expression, and I would stay motivated because of that. Sometimes you just need your creations to judge you a little bit in order to get them done. Okay, very good. So from there I moved on to some body stripes. They were going to sit under all of the other details, so it really just made a lot of sense to kind of make them, and there's 7 in total. And also sew them on at this point because everything else had to be built to be sitting on top of them anyway. And I did find that giving them a little twist as I pinned them on gave them a little bit more of that natural like wibble wobble. So that's how I managed to try kind of like cheat the shaping of them a little bit rather than just making them straight lines. Okay, and with that done, I decided to do the feet next. Now, they're kind of like low, chunky little pieces, but they did have to have a bend at the knee, and there were several color changes to negotiate here. So we stitched him up as having some toe fungus and some little red pants. And then, of course, we needed 2 of those as well. It's just a questionable transition. Ta-da! And then I just pinned those on. Now I knew I was going to be able to use the tail as the 3rd point of stability, so I wasn't overly stressed about them having the ability to balance. And after that I decided he needed some little arms next. So for the arms, I had to start in yellow to build up those claws, and I started with like a magic ring of 3, and I've used some very long stitches there to give, kind of like I did with the shell on Oshawott, to give like the impression of these 3 long claws. And then I tried to convert to an overall magic ring at the back to build up some orange and then into like the beige of the exhaust. Great. I don't know what you want to call that. I think it turned out okay. I did decide to use color changes to give those little black speckles in there just to like help build them in and make them feel a little bit more ingrained, and I think that worked quite well. And of course the limitation here was the noodliness of that arm, because there's just, I can only go so small and I didn't want to make this guy huge. So we did our best. And another questionable transition. There we go. What a majestic lady she is. Alright, so next up we made the steam pipe of a tail, and I did start with some black and then used some like raised stitching to try and give it a little bit of a rim around the top, just to kind of create the illusion of depth. At this scale I couldn't really go into actual depth, so we had to like pretend it. We had to fake the depth. And then it was just about making a little tube that would connect back to the body. Right there. Alright, so with all that done, I had to work out how to do some sort of like spidery, veiny nonsense. Like, whoever heard of an anteater with tentacles? But here we are. And basically I just started with chains and then single crochet down them until I had like a branch about the right length, and then chained some more, and it just kind of, it formed in a very kind of freeformy type of way. So those are the front tentacles there. Now I started with the front piece because I knew it was going to be simpler, but then I tried to apply the same tactics to the piece for the back. Which did end up looking a little bit like this. But you know what? I trusted the process, and I do think I was right too, because when I folded it up around the body, it ended up looking a little bit more like this, which, you know, is pretty much exactly what it was supposed to look like. Look at that. See? So then we just had to sew everything on. In fact, I was so focused on sewing, I didn't hear Mr. Bones approaching. Nearly launched me into flippin' orbit. But I recovered. Okay, so that's most of it sewn on. So last but not least, we'll just do the eyes. And of course, we also have to just add in little pupils as well. There we go. There is our finished Heatmore. And I'm actually really pleased with how she turned out. Given that she's one of the more terrifying designs, I think, from this gen. For now, anyway. Okay, and we are back. And I have made the determination that we are not allowing any more evolutions until we're in the gym. Depending on how many trainers there are leading up to the gym leader, I want to beat the gym leader today. No more evolutions until we're in the gym. That said, that's not going to save us if we get given a Pokemon in the meantime. So we do still have to stop and make a Pokemon if we're given a new one. That's just polite. On with the show. Just duck in here real quick. Yes. Now, I still don't know what kind of gym this is. And I didn't look it up because I thought it would be funnier. And it's not like I can really prepare for it anyway, so I'm just like, let's just roll with it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so is it the gym next? Yes, I am a gym leader of this town. You are right, you want to challenge the gym. In that case, what was the first Pokemon you chose? Tepig, I see, it's weak against water types. Technically, I chose Lillipup, but Lillipup replaced Tepig. If it's just gonna fight me with water types, it's in for a bit of, I suppose, oh no, Heatmore just turned into a fire type, that's rude. Oshawott a water type still. Are we still Oshawott? Yes, we are still Oshawott. Okay, cool. It's like, you picked Tepig as I sit there holding an Oshawott. Try training your Pokemon in the dream yard. Please excuse me now. Am I allowed in? Hopefully this doesn't just like force the issue. Hello, I'm Clyde. I'm the guide for trainers challenging a Pokemon gym. We appreciate you challenging the gym. Take this to commemorate the occasion. Fresh water, thank you. Hello, welcome. We're very proud of our menu, which we adjust to suit each trainer. Okay, so the whole thing seems to be that whatever typing they think your starter is, because obviously we slipped one over on them there, whatever typing they think you have, they deliberately hit you with something that's strong against it. Forcing, in my case, an over-leveling strategy, but in others, you know, they're trying to encourage items and that sort of thing, I think. But we are going to venture into the dream yard and train in here for a little bit, or at least just explore. I'm pretty sure that one of the monkeys is available here to join our team. I don't know if they will have been swapped or if we'll just get a monkey, and I'm kind of fine either way, because honestly, with the monkeys, there's like 6 of them, right? And once I've made one, it's gonna make the others real easy. So we haven't made any of them yet, but nevertheless, let's talk to this lady. Hello, lady. We are training here. Now let's train Pokemon together. Any evolutions that result from this battle are being cancelled. It's just me letting you know, because I'm determined to get through this episode at the end of the gym. Okay, so she's got 2 Pokemon. We'll do first one with Oshawott, just because we're so close to leveling. Let's tick that over, and the second one will be with Heatmore, who, honestly, if I was being tactical, I would let evolve so it was no longer a fire type, but it is what it is. And let's be real here, it's the first gym. They say, oh, it's water type. What they really mean, it's going to be a little bit of normal and a little bit of water. It's just, they never go like all out in the first gym. There we go, opacity. Don't get too excited there, bub. Oh, the audacity. Oh my goodness, the black sludge. I forgot to take the black sludge off. Y'all, you need to remind me to take the black sludge off. I don't think that's an attack. Yeah, that's fine. We'll survive that. I'll use maybe a fresh water. Gotta take the black sludge off. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna use an item. Let's heal up the Heatmore. Yeah, perfect. 19 health points. There you go, buddy. Okay, I'm still gonna be like slowly poisoning myself because I can't stop licking the black sludge. Well, I'll have a word with Audacity afterwards about why we don't lick things we found on the ground. Okay, pat that cat. Good, very good. Oh, it's growling, it didn't like it. Well, I'm sorry, we have to continue patting the cat. At least we're both getting hurt by poison. I mean, mine's more because I'm licking the tarmac, but... Okay, there we go. Good job, Audacity. Thank you, sweetie. Perfect. Okay, and you're also out of the danger zone. Very good, very good. Oh, wow. I'm back in the danger zone. All right. What's the number one thing we're going to do at the end of this battle, everybody? That's right. I'm taking the black sludge off. Oh, no, no. Nope, nope, no, you do not. You stop that. We had an agreement. And you don't either. It's a little taste of what might happen in future. We stopped it. It was only a dream. Let's take the black sludge off the heat more. There we go. Alright. Problem solved. Now because I don't have to worry about leveling, let's put heat more out the front. Audacity. And see if we can't level them up and just take advantage of this situation. You. Hello. You wanted to win? Well, you didn't. Oh, okay. There's like a puzzle down there that I can't do yet. And there's a tree that's just ripe for the cutting. And there's a little person. Hello, person. What have you got? 3 Pokemon. Okay. I'm going to try and get all of this onto Audacity and just like equalize their levels a little bit. I'm kind of a firm believer that your starter should always be just that little bit ahead in levels. It's like your go-to, your ride or die. So it should just be a little bit higher. But I think that it would behoove me to have 2 slightly closer in level to one another. Okay, well I've scattered some toxic spikes around. You might have seen that there. That's just because as this guy faints, the next one will come in and be immediately poisoned, and then I won't have to waste a move on it. So, tactics. Ow. He fights mean. Morning breath. Ow, ow, ow. Oh good, we lived. Woo! And the poison has started its chip campaign. Gonna have to restock the potions when we're in town next. There we go. Okay, I might not be able to do all 3 of these with Audacity, but I might be able to switch train. These Parrots are savage little beasties. And they were never seen again after this game. Good, good, good. Alright, so that should be like a lot of XP, right? Like a lot. I'm so pleased I made this agreement with myself. We're going to keep battling, but we're going to swap on the first turn. Do the toxic spikes impact me? Or just them? I'm hoping it's just them. Okay, cool, it is just them. The otter pats back. Pats back the pat rat. You'll be calling him Oshawott. There we go. That's number 2, taken down with expediency. Oh, and that's a lollipop. We're going to switch Pokemon. We're going to go back to Audacity. And then there was a 3rd person that I saw in the dream yard ahead of us. So I might run back to the Poke Center before we deal with that one there. I don't want to like drain my items completely. That just feels negligent. Hey, you can leer at me, little dog. You're a good boy. Hope your trainer tells you that. They seem like a good trainer though. I'm sure they love you. Excellent. Good job, Audacity. Alrighty. And Audacity got to slurp up all of that. Got some money. We'll stop some evolutions. Yep, there we go. No. I should do this more often. This is such a relief. To just be like, you know what? No, we're just leveling up and we don't have to worry about it. Is this cheating? I'm worried now that this is cheating. Yeah, there is definitely someone else walking around this. I'm just going to duck on back to that Poke Center real quick. Back to the dream yard. Hi. Hey, you. What was the first Pokemon you received? Lillipup? Really? Then Pidove could be... What? Well, I thought I was getting a monkey. And how come she could recognize that I got a Lillipup first? Don't get me wrong, I love Pidove. Your Lillipup does not do well against water-type Pokemon, so do you want this Pidove of mine? So yeah, we are going to accept the Pidove. Thank you. It can use normal type moves, so that makes it unremarkable against most types. That's so strange. I really thought we were meant to get one of the monkeys here. But like, she had dialogue all ready to go. Give a nickname to the Pidove you received. Yes. It's a little girl! This game is giving me all the little girls. Alright, so, no. It's a Pidove. Oh, we need a city name. Well, I thought it was going to be a monkey. So it's a liar? We're gonna call her Duplicity. Because it was very duplicitous for it not to be a monkey. There we are. Duplicity! If you have many types of Pokemon, something will work out no matter what kind of Pokemon you have to face. Well, all of my Pokemon are normal type or fire type. No, that's not true. I've got a water, a fire, and a normal now. Let's have a little look at our Dove. What level are you? Level 10? Excellent. Show me the birdie. Oh, it's a normal flying type. It's proud of its power. We have Gust, Growl, and Leer. It's so cool to have a flying type move. I'm going to defend that move. Okay, that move is staying on the team. Ability. Super Luck. Heightens the critical hit ratios of moves. Well, that's exciting too. Okay, so this is our 4th Pokemon of today. I did allow no level ups in this zone, but we did get a free little gift member of the team at level 10 too, which is a relief. I thought it was going to be level 5 and just being a nightmare. So yeah, let's stop here and let's make ourselves a little pigeon. It's a dove, but it looks like a pigeon. Do you know that they have milk? And we have a nice little peaceful break from the complications here with little Pidove. Or is it Pidove? After this whole snibby snivy thing, I'm kind of questioning myself a little bit. But we're just going to make a little bird. And we've done a few little birds now throughout the 300 odd Pokemon we've made so far. I don't know if we really nailed them, but we're going to give it a go today. So I've decided that we're going to start at the top of the head, and Pidove has this little like kind of floof, this little cowlick at the top of the head that I'm going to try and build in using picots. And it did actually take me a couple of attempts to get those in the right spot. I built them one way and then got nearly to the end and had to frog all the way back to move them like one row earlier, but I'm really glad that I did. And I'm also just really glad that I built them in. At this size, it can look a little bit better to build things in as opposed to sewing things on. And there's already so much to sew on here. Stuff the little pigeon. Man, I love pigeons. There she is. Okay, so now we just need to decorate the birdie. So next I decided to whip up some eyes because they were just going to be really basic little yellow circles that we snapped safety eyes into the middle of. And I could pin those in place really early and use them to help kind of space out all of the other pieces. Next up, I decided to make the little heart piece, and what I'm doing there is using stitches of different heights in a magic ring to try and like make the heart shape. And I just want to level with you, the heart that I'm making on camera here is not the one that I end up sewing on at the end of this particular section. Just because I did end up going back and remaking it off camera between making the pieces and assembling them. But I did use the same techniques on the one that we ended up using. It just ended up forming the shape a little better. So next I made an attempt at the beak, and my goodness, the beak was the most fraught piece of this little dove. I just could not get those proportions right. So I ended up splitting it into like a whole bunch of different little pieces. I don't know what to even call the 2 little pink blobs that sit above the beak. But what you're seeing here is some of my experimentation, and I will say that somehow in all of this I forgot to write down the actual pattern for the beak, but the good news was, of course, it was all on film, and so I was able to reconstruct my notes based on what happened on camera. So, long story short, she ended up beaked. There we go. Cool. She also has a sneaky little stripe on the back of her head, and I decided to just like whip that out now, just so that I could finish off all of the head pieces, and then we could move down into like what was needed for the body. So next I decided to build the feet, and I built them basically the exact same way I've done for, let's see, I think it was Firo, and the exact same ones that I made for Pidgey, and basically they are my bird feet. It's actually the same technique that I used for the fingers on throw. So it's a doubled over like long stitch, built into a little pink nub, and then I did a little bit of a grey blending piece around the top just to help them attach to the body a little bit smoother. There we go. And of course, birds have 2 feet, unless you're Hoot Hoot, but that's a whole other thing. And finally we had to make the wings, and the wings were a relatively simple shape. They didn't have like individual feathers or anything, and because I was posing them against the body, I didn't have to worry about making them double layered or worry about the fact that they are technically a different color on the inside. All I had to do was build in a simple stripe and make them vaguely the right shape, and it was all going to be fine. Thankfully, saying that did not curse me, and it was in fact all fine. We did need 2 of them though. There we go. Goes there. One goes there. And then I just sewed it all on, saving you the hassle of watching. Ta-da! There is our little Pidove. And yeah, I just want to get ahead of this and say she's not stressed, she's not anxious, she's not panicked, she's just terribly, terribly alert. Alright, we are back. I think that that's us done with this zone. Oh no, it looks like there's a little something up there. Oh, looks like there's a couple of somethings up there, so that's an X defend. We're going to just poke around. We're still not going to level up at all, but we're just going to go around collecting items. So that was an X defend. Oh, I can't get through. This must be a later zone for later. Never mind. We do not have cut yet. I'm going to assume that's related to the gym. And back out we go. All right, so our team is up to 3 Pokemon. We have a water one, a fire one, and a normal one. And that's actually, you know what? That's not a bad cross section, depending on what this gym wants to throw at us. So we're going to heal up and we're going to venture on into that gym and see what's going on. We'll see how we go. I don't really know what we're expecting here, if it's just like straight into the gym leader. Okay. Oh. That didn't do anything. Is there a question that I'm supposed to be answering? Talk to me. In this gym, you proceed by stepping on the switch with the type that is effective against the Pokemon type shown on the curtain. Oh, okay. So, fire is shown on the curtain. Wet. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, I see a trainer lurking there in the corner, doing its best to stay sneaky. Alright, attack me, sir. I will allow it. Welcome to Striaton Gym. Care for a taste of battle? I'll serve up the first course. I love when they commit to the bit. Serving up lollipops. Oh, I am not strong enough for this. This is going to be a problem. At least it's only one, so it'll be a poisonous problem. That bites me. Stop biting me. Okay, lollipop was poisoned. Oh, we're definitely getting a level from this, my goodness. Even if I swap out right now, we're getting a level from this. So let's just see if we can hang. Oh my goodness, can we hang? You okay? This isn't so bad. No, no, no! Okay. Oh, we flinched. Oh, yeah, well, we really did flinch, look. Okay, I should have bought more items. But we have enough to get through this battle. And then the poison should just take the little guy out. Strategy! Okay, up to level 10, up to level 10. Ready? Do it. Go up to level 10. Come on, Audacity, I believe in you. Oh, no. Okay, well, this is our 5th evolution. And we're going to allow it because the hiatus was just for the dream yard. So that's still on the evolution number 5. We still have 1 more for today, and we are actively in the gym. So that bodes well, I think. All right. Come on, buddy. What do you want to be? I should have held off on this one. That's okay. What are you? Oh, that is Dradigan! Hey! Dradigan is one of the first full-on shinies I ever found. He is bright green and bright yellow. It's very, very Australian coded when he's shiny. But he looks fabulous in his blue and red as well. Yeah, you can learn Bite. Okay, now I know why we turned into Dradigan. It's because Lollipop bit us so often. Audacity was like, excuse me? Yeah, we're gonna learn Bite. We're gonna replace Recycle. I don't really play a very like heavy held item game, and so like having Bite instead of Recycle is good. I think it's the alright to move ahead of Pokemon you've trained well even without thinking about type matchups. I agree. Alright, so arguably I'm guessing that there's 1 more trainer and then the gym leader. So I'm just gonna duck out, heal up, and buy some items, and then we'll come back. Oh, no, we won't. Hold on. No. First, we have a job to do. We are going to... They're so close together, it's easy to forget. So Dradigan has rough skin, which inflicts damage to the attacker on contact, and Dradigan is now a dragon type, which, you know, we love us a dragon type. Oh, and just in case anyone was worried about it, when I stop an evolution, it doesn't actually like skip one. So Heatmore was always going to turn into Dradigan. It didn't matter if we let it level at level 7, level 8, level 9. It didn't matter if I stopped it evolving until level 20. The next thing that Heatmore was going to become was going to be Dradigan. So you're not like missing any, and you don't have to like wonder about what could have been. Like this was always going to be what the evolution was. That's just how this particular type of swap out works. Okay, so I kind of cheered for Dradigan there because I do have that personal history with finding the shiny, but I have been kind of dreading making this one, probably worse than making Reshiram. Caca. But nevertheless, the choice has been taken from us and we are going to try and manage it today. But my goodness, the amount of little tiny points on this dragon is unreal and I'm really nervous about how I'm going to approach a lot of it. I think what I'm going to do is just streamline it down into like basic base shapes and then think of all of the spikiness as details to be added and just sort of see where we go from there. So we need a teal, a juicy raspberry, and some pale sorbet. She's a very pretty color combination. Now, while I did like torture myself a little bit with the thought of maybe I could just close the mouth and stitch on a zigzag, I decided to be bold, and we are going for the open mouth pose here, folks. And we're just gonna hope it pays off. So I started with that antique rose color for the inside of the mouth, and then I started building up the lower jaw around the outside. Now, while I did that, I did have to position some of the spikes, which I made using just a picot stitch, because there was no other way I was going to be able to incorporate those teeth later. And had a moment of doubt, but we soldiered on. So from there, we got to change to our teal, and I built up just kind of the main swoop of the body. Now, what you might be noticing here is the fact that I've kind of ignored the main fin that does go like across the top of the head, but also down the sides, which you might consider to be part of the body. But I decided to consider it part of the head, and it simplified a lot of this for me, thankfully. But more on that later. The trick with long, skinny tails is actually not reducing your stitches down to 0. It's actually getting it down to approximately the right length and then just sewing the opening shut, as I am demonstrating here. There we go. That is one Drodigon base. Next, I grabbed my yellow and started to work up that little belly stripe. Now, this belly stripe has some very distinct ridges and zigzags to it, and so I wanted to emphasize that, and I worked in both like front loop and back loop to just like give it that extra dimension, because we didn't want just a flat yellow belly piece. We wanted it to have some raised ridges and some pointy edges, and so like I could utilize the medium I was using to kind of emphasize that. All right, so next I worked up the top of the head. It's just a little lid, but I struggled a little bit here in working out what needed to be included as the head and what needed to be a separate piece. In the end, I've decided that I needed to build the teeth in like I did on the bottom jaw, just to make sure that they all line up correctly. But everything else could be made as an additional crest. And it looks silly here, but I just need you to trust the process because I'm so glad that I did it this way. So from there, I moved on to the crest that I've mentioned twice now. And basically it needed to swoop down the sides of the jaw, up and around the top of the head, and then down and around the other side of the jaw. It also needed some very specifically placed points on it, which, you know, I did actually stop and count and position and all that other stuff. Not well, because I do prefer to wing it, but we did our best here, and it does end up working out, thankfully. So I just sort of like pinned it on where it was supposed to go, pinned on the belly at the same time, and it's all starting to come together. Alrighty, so next I decided to make his little legs. And they did need to have a bunch of white toenails built in, like as well as like a tiny red spike on the back of the leg. And in hindsight, I do wish I'd built some of the spikes of the tail in the same way I did the spike on the back of the leg, but that's fine. I think we did what we could with what we had, and we need 2 of those as well. Just pin those on there. Stop. And next we made the arms, which also needed a bunch of little white claws and a bunch of little red spines going up the forearm, which I did again have the foresight to build in. This is a very complicated little dragon, I gotta say. I'm watching this and I kind of impressed myself a little bit on this one. Okay, and we need 2 arms, and that is the most questionable transition I think I've ever done. She's happy, she knows it, she claps her hands. Okay, what are we missing? We need some wings. So the wings I'm making as 2 pieces, and they're the same base piece, but with one I build like the little spiky triangles around the outside, and then just make a duplicate of the base piece to give it a little bit of stability and cover up all of our rough ends on the inside. It doesn't need the spikes as well though. And of course we need 2 of them, and both of them need those inside pieces. And that means we need 4 pieces in total to make both wings. And they'll go there and there. And at this point, I'd kind of realized my mistake. She's looking really cool, but I've kind of worked out that, no, like to make spikes, there's just not enough room. And like in hindsight, I could have done them a little bit differently and there would have been enough room. But in the meantime, I want you to make your piece now with the fact that some of the spikes on the back of Drodigon got left off. I could not fit them in reasonably because of how I approached it. And I do think that she still ended up looking really cool. So I'm hoping you can forgive the couple of missing diamonds on her back. With all that done, we just had to kind of sew her together. And I did remember to add her little wrist spikes as well. So literally the only spikes missing was that one on her back. Heck, maybe it's a gender difference and I just didn't look it up properly. And there is the finished Dradagon. And I gotta tell you, I think this one here is one of the ones that I am the most proud of how on form it turned out, even knowing that there were a couple of glaring omissions in terms of the spikes. Like, I was so afraid of trying to tackle this spiky little lady, and I just think she turned out so great. So hopefully you like her as well. Alright, we are back from making our spiky dragon. Nevertheless, I will now run my errands. And then we'll be back at the gym. Okay. So we're back, and the answer to the next question is, of course, plant. But here's the thing. If there is another trainer between us and the gym leader, I'm not allowing an evolution. I am determined to get through this gym leader today. And so basically I'm going to be cancelling any evolutions that come out of the next battle. And I am controlling this a little bit more tightly than I did with Soul Silver. With Soul Silver, I kind of just let it be chaotic. I think just while we get this ball rolling at the start here, I'm having to control it just that little bit more. And hopefully that's not impacting your fun too much, but let me know in the comments and I can adjust for future episodes and not do this and just like let them happen back to back if that's the way they want to happen. In general, I think the vibe from the comments last time was very much like, hey, you can stop them if you want to, just to like let the story happen. I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of that. So, yeah, let me know if you don't like this and I'll go back to the way we used to do it. Okay, yep, look, there is a little waiter type folk sitting there. And because I'm not going to allow evolutions, now is a good time to get Audacity up another level. Just like get everybody up to a decent level. Have at me. I gotta say, I do kind of like this as an introduction to anybody who doesn't already know about like typing advantages. That's what I mean about like Gen 5 was kind of a little bit of a reset. It's like this is a really good way of, instead of just telling us, we're like playing through the notion that these are like who is strong against who, and they're kind of reinforcing that with this little game. It's like, it's good. They have a level advantage. I am once again a little bit in danger. Let's put some toxic spikes down. If this little guy bites me, he's in for a heck of a mouthful. I am all spikes all the time. I know I had to make all those. Bite the mouse. Excellent. Ah, what just happened? It's quite intimidating. It's an intimidating little mouse. We'll just keep chomping. Chomp. And a Purloin. We're going to keep on battling. Let Audacity just drink all this up like a sponge. Oh, Purloin's doing stuff. She's charging up her laser. I gotta bite faster. Now, quickly. No. Unleashed energy. Oof. Thank you, Audacity. We clung white-knuckled to that 1 HP. Now, Audacity, you definitely deserve a level, but we're still going to skip it, because we've already had this conversation, bub. It's just like, it's not for you, not right now. Nope. My cute little thorny devil. Okay, cool, so the gym leader is next. That makes sense, because there was only like 3 possible combinations. I'm going to heal, and we're going to be right back. Okay. So the last question is, who is strong against plant or grass type? And the answer is fire. That's supposed to teach me who is strong against Metepig, or who Metepig is strong against. Just to pull out the water guns. Hey, welcome to the Striaton City Pokemon Gym. Hello, are you Pokemon Gym? I'm Chili. I light things up with fire type. I'm water type specialist. My name is Cress. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. My name is Sillin. I like grass type Pokemon. Oh, when we're spinning, you guys are fancy. You see, the 3 of us will decide whom you battle, based on the type of the first Pokemon you chose. And the partner you first chose was fire type, it seems. Was it now? Bring it, water boy! Oh, I have to actually bring it myself first. Hi! Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. It's like the typings won't actually have that big of an impact. That's a Lillipup. It's the first gym. They always pull their punches. And like my water type has no water moves. So, okay, we have no type advantage. I can wrap the little guy up or I can roll the little guy out. Let's try rolling him out. Oh, he's biting! And I flinched. We're gonna wrap him up. Good. A little hesitation there made me a little bit nervous. Okay. Oh, he's working himself up. He's getting ready for the zoomies. But he's still wrapped. Oh, he's getting himself all pumped. Okay. Taking this seriously. This is a gym leader that we didn't train for. Oh, and we're gonna flinch again, aren't we? Oh no, we're just gonna die! Opacity! That's not how I thought this was gonna go. I did not take my preparation for this seriously. Well, at least this guy can bite back. Let's lay down some toxic spikes. Oh, I actually don't know if the mechanic in this game allows for fainted Pokemon to still gain XP. We'll find out. It's fine, I can bite too. Crunch. Oh, I'm flinching, but my rough skin is also doing some of the job. I'm just gonna have to get better using items tactically, I think. I can't just like button mash my way through it anymore. Oh, we're both using potions. And we're both gonna go back to biting. Wait, no, I lied! I'm gonna fart on you. Ha! It's a gassy dragon, okay? Who knows what she's been eating? Let's get those passives up. Little chip damage. Raising its attack again. Poison does a little bit. Get back into the bag, use another potion. Opacity. I wanted Opacity to be the one that leveled up. This is not going to plan at all. Okay, well Audacity went to level 11. Now see, here's the thing. I'm almost tempted to let my party wipe out so that I can heal Oshawott and then come back in. So, I think that's actually the move here because I'm determined that Oshawott gets to level up again before the end of this episode. So, I'll keep battling and just try not to win. So yeah, so the strategy here is to use moves that don't actually hurt. And in this case, literally all I can do is keep putting toxic spikes down. Okay, that's not going to get the job done, Panpour. I'm going to need you to hit me a little harder. Good, good. A little harder again. Okay, good, good. You got this, buddy. Stop getting hurt by the poison. Oh, so close. One more ought to do it, though. Ooh, who knew that my strongest strategy was in trying to die? Okay, cool. That's Audacity down. And we have one more friend left, but Panpour is running out of runway. Come on, Duplicity. You're a little bird. This monkey should just have the easiest time ever. Bag. No. Fight. Gust. Oh, we can just growl. Grr. Oh, good. Okay, good. Oh, we lowered your attack. I'm sorry, we should have leered. Success! Ha-ha! Okay, so we nearly beat that gym leader by just not doing anything. That is the power of poison, but that's good. I want Oshawott to be the one that evolves. I'm feeling very strongly about that. So we're going to go back in. I'm going to manipulate the outcome to make sure that Oshawott doesn't die this time. Don't pity me, it was deliberate. I can hold down the button and run. I will remember. I will remember. I know I can, like, win this battle, but the real question here is, can I win it with certain Pokemon still alive? There's that yappy little monster. Okay, get a good look, Opacity. See that guy? We don't want to fight that guy. We want to send in someone a little bigger to fight that guy. Good job. Okay, so Opacity has now been exposed. That's good. And is still alive. That's better. Let's just whip through this pup real quick. Same strategy as before. Poison, then bite. And I'm gonna use an item next because we want Audacity to live. And all of my like passive damage should take care of the last of little Lillipup. Thank you, baby! Oh, Chris used a potion as well. I forgot about that. Dang. Good thing they haven't learned about antidotes yet. Apparently that lesson was just for me. Okay, cool. There goes Lillipup. Yep, we're gonna switch for the Schwat. Go, Opacity! Fight the water monkey. Level 14 water monkey. Who should be poisoned. I thought I put spikes down. Dang, must not have done. It must not have worked. Now I need... This is hard because like at level 12 Opacity has like the greatest chance of survival. But I actually... Opacity is the one that I really need to survive. So I'm just going to have to do my best with the others. And particularly as Panpour's not poisoned. If Panpour had been poisoned already, I might have like left that the way it was. Poison designed specifically for Panpour. Panpour's poison. Toxic spikes. No, not toxic spikes. You need poison gas. What am I doing? What a waste of a move. Sorry, Dratty, that was all on me. Now breathe deeply. Okay, now you're poisoned. We can bite. Okay, that should only do little bits of damage. It was painfully inefficient last time. This should do the trick. There we go. Alright. Now that should be enough XP to get opacity up as well. That's audacity. It's level 12. And opacity did as well. Good, level 13. Awesome. So audacity does not get to evolve, opacity does. So it's the Oshawott that gets to level. And we defeated the gym leader! Yay! Mission accomplished, and we only had to stretch every rule there was. Alright, who's coming up first? Oshawott. Okay, so Oshawott gets to evolve. I'm ready. And as I mentioned at the very start of this episode, we should already know who this is turning into, but I don't remember, and I don't know if any of you actually went back to check, but we're going to find out now anyway. That's why I wanted it to be Oshawott evolving in this episode, because I didn't want to like leave that as something you could go look up and then it hadn't happened yet. So let's just close the chapter on Oshawott here. What are you becoming? I don't remember. But I remember being like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to make that yet. It's not Sandile, Crocodile? Crocorock. Hey! It's a very cool upright gator. Wants to learn the move Sand Tomb? Absolutely you can. There we go. The coolest crocodile in town. Oh, nope, you stay as you are, please. You do not have my authority to evolve. Okay, cool. We stopped that from happening. Now, we might have to just like work through the story point here a little bit and then we'll pause. It's the Pokemon League's rule, so please take this badge. Thank you! Honestly, they should have made me fight all three. I wouldn't have minded. Ding! Y'all, we're so cool, we have a badge. Gym badges are proof of a trainer's abilities. Oh, we're getting TM83 workup. Now, we saw that was quite effective on Lillipup, but there were so many moves. Like, you have to be able to, like, handle getting hit so much in order to be able to use something like that. No, I'm a violence person. It's like, I want all of my moves to be doing damage. I can kind of barely be okay with the idea of poisoning them because I know that that'll pay off in the long run. And I know something like this should pay off in the long run too, but I am digressing. We're not going to use that probably. I do like the change here that TMs can be used as many times as you want, because that's going to be really helpful for me in this run for like helping my movesets be what they need to be. Can I talk to you? I can't believe TMs can be used over and over. Exactly. If you wanted, you could use one to teach all your Pokemon the same move. You could. We might. If there were 17 siblings in the Striaton City Gym, there could be a specialist for each type of Pokemon. That's true, buddy, but like, my goodness, your parents. Alright, let's get back outside. And we'll have a little look at our new Pokemon. No, don't story lock me. I shouldn't have run outside. I'm sorry, that was a mistake. Hey, Fennel. Professor Juniper asked me to give you something. Please follow me. I don't want to follow you. This is a story point. Sorry guys, we'll be making our Pokemon in a second. You're going to meet all of the Pokemon in the Unova region, am I right? Oh, the stairs are right here. Yeah, it's your house, lady. My room is upstairs. Come on, go upstairs. I don't want to go upstairs. I'm Fennel, and as you can see, I'm a scientist. The subject I'm researching is trainers. I'll give you something to help you. This is a hidden machine. Okay, we've got Cut now, so we can unlock that extra area of the Dream Yard. There are some moves that a Pokemon can use even when it's not fighting. You can teach a Pokemon a move called Cut. Excellent. There's a place called the Dream Yard on the outskirts of Striaton City. I'd like some of the dream mist that a Pokemon there called Mana gives off. I hope that this isn't plot relevant, because there's a very good chance that there are no Mana in the Dream Yard. They've all been swapped. Even like guaranteed encounter Pokemon have been swapped. Our game might be soft locked. We'll discover that next time. For now, let's have a look at our Pokemon. Okay, so here we go. Level 13 opacity is now a Crocorock, who is ground and dark type, with the ability Moxie. Boosts attack after knocking out any Pokemon. Oh, I like that. So we're going to stop here and we're going to make our Croc. I was calling it a gator before, but it's clearly a Croc. It's labeled Croc. Alrighty, last Pokemon of the day, and it is Crocorock. Well, I mean, once we finally got out of that story point, it could be Crocorock. And this is just one very cool crocodile. So Crocorock has a lot of stripes, and a lot of spikes, and a lot of colours, and a lot of teeth. And so I feel like we have a lot of pieces coming down the pipeline at us with this particular Pokemon. Now, the first few colors were easy. We need charcoal, black, pink, and white. That's just basically the details. But I had a really hard time trying to work out what the base brown should be. It was easy to eliminate the latte color first because it was just too chocolatey. Then I could eliminate the sun gold for being like too strong. And then I think the beige is just too blue, leaving me with like pale yellow or like this fleshy kind of tone. And I did end up going with, I don't know, I think it's called almond. It might be called natural, just because I think it paired more nicely with the charcoal. It gave a more accurate impression of the Pokemon we were making. And speaking of how many pieces we're gonna have to make today, I decided to start by making the head, but not the whole head, just like kind of like the base piece for a head that doesn't include the eyes or the mouth. It's kind of just the bottom jaw and the back of the head and kind of the cheeks. And yeah, I started there for some reason. I still can't really explain why. It just sort of happened that way. There we go. Next, I'm gonna just whip up a little pair of eyes. And I have very deliberately used black for the detail of the eyes because the pupils look very much the same color as the stripes on the body to me, which means I'll do those in charcoal gray. Get out of there, I just need a second eye. And of course we need 2 of those. Next, I started making the mouth piece because I did want it to sit as a separate layer and I wanted to build those teeth in so that they looked like they were not, like they're not part of the head, they're sitting like within the mouth. And the easiest way to do that is to create a separate jaw piece, which kind of slides over the top there. So we're already up to 4 pieces here. And a little nose stripe makes the 5th. From there, I decided to build up the body, and I was feeling really brave today. And so rather than making all of those stripes as separate pieces and the belly as separate pieces and trying to get them all to line up, I decided to work a whole lot of color changes today. But I decided after I'd already started. So we frogged back a little bit to try it out. So I basically worked like pink around one half of the body and that sandy color around the back of the body, and just tried to keep everything lining up the whole way up the nozzle of this body. We stuffed as we went because it's quite a rotund little belly, and I do think it ended up a little bit out of proportion with the head, but it does work out fine in the end. Goodness knows I've left myself nowhere to go with crocodile except for massive, or just like to decide that the final evolution is smaller than the mid-evolution, but we'll work that out later. So there is our body connected to the head. Then having made the body, I moved straight into making the tail. Now this does mean that the stripes on the body don't curve the way I normally would like them to stripe-wise, but I think that a lot of those rough edges are going to end up covered over by limbs anyway, so I think I get away with it. And having put all of that love into all of those color changes, after all that, I just looked into it and I think he's meant to have a black stripe all the way down his back. Are you kidding me? So, I mean, arguably I may have done it this way from the beginning, even if I'd known, but it was kind of, it felt like a kick in the teeth after doing all of those color changes just to find out that I'd missed a really important one. Nevertheless, I noticed before we got too far. Okay, so with those body base pieces done, I decided to make the legs next. So they were once again quite chunky legs. They needed some white toenails, they needed some color changes on them as well. Just because she's just a stripy lady. Hopefully I haven't been referring to her as a fella. It's a lady, folks. There we go. And we have 2 stompy little legs. So next we need 2 noodly arms. And they do need to cross. And I did try to make them so that they would fit crossing. They kind of ended up a little bit bulkier, and in hindsight I would have made the hands the same width as the arm, but I do think they're going to work out okay. And next I just needed some spikes for down the back. Ta-da! I work really hard on some of these transitions. Okay, so with all those pieces made, I could just take it apart and sew it back together again. And there is our finished Crocorock. Okay, so there are our 6 new Pokemon for Gen 5 today. So today we made Oshawott, Throw, Heatmore, Pidove, Drudigon, and Crocorock. And I have to say, I think Gen 5 is really turning up the difficulty here as to like all of those little details and the spots and the stripes, like just compared to, I'm also working on Gen 2 parallel to this during stream. And I gotta say, Gen 2 is so much easier. They're just simpler forms. Maybe it's a familiarity thing, but in any case, I'm really like, I'm kind of appreciating the challenge, but it's for some reason, it's a little unexpected. So yeah, that is it for today's episode. I hope you had a good time. Do let me know how you feel about the way I'm kind of stretching the rules around who gets to evolve when. I'm not having any impact whatsoever on who they evolve into. I'm just kind of adjusting the timing a little bit to help us get through the story. I think getting through like one gym leader per episode is probably a pretty healthy pace, unless there's like some Team Rocket type shenanigans in the mix as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments about that. I'm happy to hear feedback and adjust accordingly. But other than that, I'll see you next week. Okay. Bye. And I just have to say a big thank you to my patrons, because it is their ongoing support that allows me to stop and make series like this that don't always perform super well on YouTube, but I have a lot of fun making them. And I like to think that at least anybody who's watched this far is having fun watching them as well. So do let me know in the comments who your favorite was today, and if there is anybody in Gen 5 that you're looking forward to seeing coming up in future. Now, I've had a very Pokemon heavy month in March, and so I think I'm not going to do another episode of this now until May. So episode 3 will now be in May. I'm going to focus on some other things just to get a little bit more variety back into my craft room. I think we finished off, it has to be close to 12 Pokemon this month, and it brought our overall CrochetDex up to 300 in total, which is just under 30% of all of the currently known Pokemon have been completed and added to our CrochetDex, which is really cool. Well, I mean, Gen 10 is going to be coming out at some point, which will bump that number back down again, but right now we're making excellent timing.